Hello guys, and welcome to another tutorial from Version 3 Technology. Today we're going to be looking at setting up your Raspberry Pi as a web server using Mac. I know there's a few guides out there for doing it on a Windows machine, and some people need a little bit more guidance with this sort of stuff. So I'm going to run right through this. It's probably going to be a long tutorial. It may even go into 2-3 videos. I might do it as one. I might just split it up into two. It depends how long it is. But guys, I'm going to presume that you've already mounted Debian onto your SD card and you know how to start it and all that other good stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from a fresh image on my card. So if I undo this here, you're going to see I've got a fresh image. This hasn't been installed onto the Raspberry Pi or anything. It's literally a fresh image as I would have finished my last guide. Now I'm going to assume that you know the IP address that your Raspberry Pi is on. If you don't, there is a way around it, and I will leave the instructions in the description for that. But if you know your IP address, here's how we're going to do it. The first thing we need to do is if we just literally right-click and rename, or get info, and we're going to rename this from boot_enable_ssh.rc, and we're going to clear the _enable_ssh. And we're just going to call it boot RC. All right, so come off that. That is it. That's all we're going to do here, guys. And let's load up terminal. Here we go. And I'm just going to eject the card, put the card into my Raspberry Pi, connect up the USB and the Ethernet, and we'll go from there. Guys, you're going to need to wait for your Raspberry Pi to boot. It's going to have to do its initial setup. So if you're starting from a fresh card, you're just going to need to give it, before you try logging in, just give it 3 or 4 minutes, let it boot up, let it go through its setup process. It can depend differently. How long it takes is different. Well, I think it's about 3 to 4 minutes. So, but if you've already set it up and you've already started it before, then you're not going to have to worry about that. You're just going to be able to do this straight away. All right, guys, we're ready to log in here now. So I'm going to start by SSHing into the Raspberry Pi. So SSH. Username PI, because that's the username of the Raspberry Pi, at your IP address, mine being 192.168.0.6. Enter. It's gonna ask me for an RSA key fingerprint, which is a secure fingerprint between the two devices. So click yes. Sorry, type yes. Right, done. It's now asking me for the password for the Raspberry Pi. We know the username is Pi, all right, and the password is Raspberry. So Raspberry should log us in. There we are, we're in. So the first thing we really need to do now we're in here is we really need to update the unit. So, or actually, first we'll change the password, then we'll update the unit. So if you just write sudo pass wd pi, that'll ask you for a new password. So if you type in the password that you want to use, make sure it's a good password. Right, that password is now, updated the password. So the next thing to do is actually update this unit. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to configure the time. So sudo dpkg reconfigure and tz data. All right, maybe it's not. Maybe I can't spell reconfigure and I can't. So sudo g reconfigure. That's better. I'll spell it right this time. TZ data. All right, here we go. It's going to bring up another screen, which is going to allow us to choose our locale, so we can change it. So I'm in Europe and I'm in London, so I'm going to hit that, and it's going to update the time. Now we're going to update the repositories for the operating system so that we can actually upgrade. So next is sudo apt-get update. Now, guys, this is gonna it's going to take a while. So there's going to be a lot of cases while we do this. There's going to be periods where it takes a while. I'm going to cut those out of this video. So be patient via all these updates and stuff. Just let it do what it's got to do. Once it comes up with this, I'll just highlight this here. Once it comes up with this, you know it's ready for you to move again, okay, in simple terms. So let's go with the update. Right, guys, as you can see, we have a problem here. Now, it's not really a problem. All we're going to do is we're going to run exactly the same command again. So we're going to run sudo app-get update, and it will solve these problems very quickly. Look, done. So we've now done it. The next step is to actually apply these updates. So we're going to write sudo apt-get upgrade. Now this will take a while. At one point it's going to ask you if you want to accept. Just press Y, enter, accept, and then we should be done. Right, guys, we've now done the update for Debian. Next, what we need to do is look at updating the firmware of the Raspberry Pi. So we're going to use Hexa's tool to do that. So the next thing we need to do is to sudo apt-get install ca-certificates. Make sure I've spelt that right. This may take a while as well. Guys, next we need to install gitcore. So sudo apt-get install git-core. Again, yes to proceed. Guys, now we're here. What we need to do is we need to call to the web to actually download the update files. So what I'm going to do, rather than typing this in, I'll just paste this in here for now. It's sudo wget http://goo.gl/1 uppercase B, uppercase O, not a zero, it's an O, lowercase f, uppercase J, minus, uppercase O, not zero, space, /usr/bin/rpi-update. Hit the go button. That's done. We've got all the info we need. Now what we need to do is we need to chmod the file so we can run it. So sudo chmod plus x /user /bin /rpi-update. Done. Now what we need to do is actually we need to run the update. So it's just sudo rpi-update. Now again, this may take a while. So again, don't be alarmed if it doesn't look like mine's taking very long to do anything. It's because I'm literally cutting these bits out of the video. Right, guys, that's now done. It's updated. You may get an error as well. Don't worry about that too much. What we're going to do now is we just need to restart it for the changes to take effect. So sudo shutdown. Make sure I'm spelling it properly. -R for reboot. Now, because we want it done now. Okay, guys, it's rebooted. So now we need to actually log back into the Raspberry Pi. So again, you need to use your just give it a minute or so just to reboot back up. Right, don't go straight in there because it might not connect. So here we go. SSH PI at 192.168.0.6 for me, whatever it is for you. And again, oh yeah, we're there. Put in your password. Don't put it in wrong like I just did. Put in your password. Let's get back in. All right, guys, now we're in. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this first part of this tutorial here, because that's the updating of the Raspberry Pi, the firmware, and everything else that we need to do to start to install all the web server bits and pieces. So, guys, I'll see you in part 2 of this tutorial. Thanks for watching.